Have you ever wondered how some of the world's oldest buildings are still around? If you think about it, it raises some interesting questions. Who takes care of them? How are these buildings conserved? Why do we even bother maintaining such old structures? Well, these questions are answered in the realm of architectural conservation. Architectural conservation is the process through which the historical and design integrity of humanity's built heritage are prolonged through carefully planned interventions. This field of architecture is very important because it preserves the cultural, architectural, and intangible values that these buildings hold. There are 5 different categories of architectural conservation: preservation, restoration, reconstruction, rehabilitation, and revitalization. Different buildings get different treatments, which are decided by the organization in control of the conservation process. Design, history, location, surroundings, and many other variables are considered to make sure that the process will benefit both the building and its surroundings. In a given project, more than one process can be done simultaneously, creating a hybrid type of architectural conservation. The first type of conservation is preservation. The definition of preservation is that the building is not changed in any way and that all changes are only made to prevent further damage to the building. An example of this type of conservation is the Bajang Ratu Archway in East Java, Indonesia. This archway was built around the 14th century and was one of the largest archways in that era of the Majapahit kingdom. All the terracotta bricks in the arch are still original, with the only major change being the addition of a lightning pole on the top of the arch. The addition of the lightning pole might not seem like it qualifies the arch to be under the term preservation. However, one can argue that it's an addition that prevents further damage, therefore qualifying it to be under preservation. After preservation is restoration. Restoration means returning a damaged building to its original state by using old materials and construction methods. An example of this type of conservation is the ancient temples of Indonesia. Many of the temples in Indonesia were badly damaged throughout their long history. The temples were rebuilt using the rubble in the sites of these temples. The most tedious part of this process of conservation is the massive cataloging process of the rubbles from these temples. After cataloging, the pieces of the temples are placed back using the traditional method. In this purely restorative intervention, the use of concrete, paint, and other modern materials are not used. The next level of architectural conservation is reconstruction. Reconstruction means returning a damaged building to a known earlier state by the introduction of new materials and construction methods. Examples of such projects is the Frauenkirche located in Dresden, Germany. The original building was built between 1768 and 1743. During the Second World War, the building was destroyed, with the only remaining parts being the altar and the north wall of the building. Of the million stones used in the reconstruction of the building, only 3,800 were original. The finishing, like paint and window paints, all used new materials. The next 2 types of architecture conservation goes under the category of adaptation. When a building is planned to go under this category of conservation, 2 major things are considered. First, what changes to the physical aspect of the building must be made for it to adapt to its current situation. And second, what functions of the building need to be changed for it to suit its surroundings. The first conservation under the adaptation category is rehabilitation. This process of conservation involves the repair of the building by using new materials and construction methods and changing the function of the building, however, not to a commercial one. An example of rehabilitation is the Fathahillah Museum in Jakarta, Indonesia. This building used to be the City Hall of Batavia and was built by the VOC in 1710. The building was altered to become a public museum in the year 1974. The second conservation under the adaptation category is revitalization. Revitalization is exactly the same as rehabilitation, for the exception that the function changes to a commercial one. A project that uses the process of revitalization is Cafe Batavia, also located in Jakarta, Indonesia. The building was originally constructed in stages starting from 1805 to 1850 and served as the administration office for the VOC. After the Indonesian Independence War was over in 1945 and the Dutch power left Indonesia, the building was turned into an art gallery. In 1991, Graham James, an Australian native, bought the building and turned it into the cafe it is today. The main changes to the building was to the interior, where furniture and layouts were changed.
Pak, nama saya Jeremia dari kampus Podomoro University, Fakultas Arsitektur. Saya ada tugas untuk menanyakan museum ini dibangun tahun kapan dan apakah pernah dipreservasi atau renovasi bangunan ini?
Pernah direnovasi, pernah setiap tahun kita mengadakan observasi ya, atau yang rusak-rusak kami ganti ya. Ini museum ini dulu adalah salah satu kantor gubernur atau kantor Balai Kota Batavia. Jadi gedung ini awal mulanya yaitu dibangunnya pada tanggal 25 Januari, tapi aslinya dibangun pada tahun 1620 pada masa yaitu pemerintahan Gubernur Jenderal Jan Pieter Soenkoen, sehingga awal mulanya hanya satu lantai, jadi dibangun kembali tahun 1707. Pada saat itu Gubernur Jenderal adalah Johan van Hoorn dan diselesaikannya tanggal 10 Juli 1710. Pada saat itu yaitu pemerintahnya adalah Gubernur Jenderal Abraham van Huyden, jadi dibangun selama 3 tahun. Nah, fungsinya ini menjadi kantor gubernur. Setelah menjadi kantor gubernur juga pernah menjadi kantor Dewan Pengadilan. Setelah menjadi kantor Dewan Pengadilan juga pernah menjadi yaitu kantor Provinsi Jawa Barat ya. Setelah menjadi kantor Provinsi Jawa Barat, gedung ini juga pernah menjadi gudang logistik dari Nippon Jepang ya. Setelah menjadi gudang logistik dari Nippon Jepang, ini juga pernah menjadi kantor Wali Kota Jawa Barat tahun 1958 ya. Nah, setelah menjadi kantor Wali Kota Jawa Barat, jadi menjadi yaitu kantor Kodim 0503 Jakarta Barat tahun 1960-an. Nah, diserahkan sama Pemprov DKI itu pada tahun 1972 ya. Nah, setelah diserahkan yaitu diperbaikilah gedung ini. Nah, setelah diperbaiki jadi bagus, maka dijadikan museumnya pada tanggal 30 Maret 1974 oleh Bapak Gubernur DKI Ali Sadikin.
Kalau saya mau tanya juga material bangunan ini, saya lihat ada yang kayak masih asli, terus juga ada yang material baru. Itu cara pemilihan apa yang diganti, apa yang masih tetap itu gimana Pak?
Jadi kalau materialnya, struktur bangunannya itu tidak ada yang dirubah kecuali yang rusak diganti ya. Nah, kalau rusak diganti ya. Terus masalahnya materialnya itu bukan dari negeri ini. Tuh, ini ada juga lantainya dari negeri Cina, ada juga dari India Selatan lantainya. Batu batanya dibawa juga dari Eropa ya, dari Cina mungkin, atau materialnya juga dibawa dari sana. Kenapa? Dan di sini itu hanya pembuatan tenaganya ya. Nah,
Ya, terima kasih Pak.